The third bill in my package is House Bill 124. It creates the PACT Advisory Task Force. There'll be 21 persons on it. There'll be 3 individuals from each of the 7 congressional districts, Congressman Davis's district, for instance. But there'll be 21 people on it. Those 21 people will serve as a direct arm and a link to the new PACT board created by the second bill. The chairman of that advisory task force will be a sitting member of the newly constituted PACT board. So that advocacy efforts like Save Alabama PACT can be fully vetted through the PACT, the PACT board advisory process. I think that's critical because so oftentimes we leave you folks out of the mix here in Montgomery. Congressman Davis knows because I can actually say this guy is one of my dearest friends. R, D, black, white, doesn't matter. This guy is a friend of mine, and I claim him to be a friend of mine. And I want you to know that the PACT promises have no partisanship in this issue. They have nothing but fully committing to the full faith and promise of the state of Alabama for what you guys have invested in. It's a shame. How can we teach our own children and grandchildren about thrift and honoring things and commitments and promises and vows and pledges if we're willing to allow the state government to bail? What this PACT board did on December 29th, and if there are PACT board members in here, come on and see me afterwards, we'll take it outside. But I'll tell you this, what they did on December 29th, the comment earlier from one of your co-chairs was reprehensible. I think the PACT board needs to reverse. We talked about this, what they did on December 29th, at a time when tomorrow at noon, the bell will ring in our world here, Congressman, Representative Bentley, Representative McClammy, the bell will ring for us tomorrow here at the State House. Well, I'll tell you what, disarming in the process is wrong. They have already shot the volley now across this. I really believe they are trying to do this. Wash their hands of this process. If that's what they want, I'll be part of making sure that we wash them out of here. Now, I appreciate volunteers. I appreciate people who serve in those kind of capacities. But folks, this is a time when we've got to get collective heads together. How are we going to do that? The elephant in the room is the funding problem. We know that. We understand that. It is an incredibly large elephant, but we will find a way to eat that elephant a bite at a time. I don't know how. I think if we don't address the systemic commitment to honor the promise, I think if we don't structurally change the current governance of the board, and I think if we don't put PACT-type people that are advocates on the PACT board, we'll miss an incredible opportunity. Then and only then when we have made systemic changes in governance and an opportunity to take this litigation off the board, can we look to the solutions. We will be collaborative with the Treasurer's Office. We will be collaborative with Governor Riley. We will work with the 2-year schools, the 4-year schools. Do I think they are prepared to take a haircut over the next 20 years in this process? No. Do I think they'll have to? Yes. The fact is we've got to get all of us in a room once the governance issues have been fixed and the promises have been statutorily agreed to by the legislature, that we can begin then fashioning and cobbling in the crucible of the heat that we have to get put under sometimes. We will fashion together, not just cobble, but we'll fashion together what's going to happen over the next 22 years to make sure we honor these promises. We're going to do it. Folks, I've been around, I shared this before, and I know George has, and I know Representative McClammy and Charles. We've been around long enough, and Tuscaloosa and Representative Bentley, I've been around long enough to see the Rosewood Agreement signed with Mercedes-Benz, where the state obligated itself for a couple of $100 million to recruit Mercedes to Tuscaloosa. I've been in the legislature and voted for the agreement for Honda that brought Honda from Japan to Lincoln, Alabama, Congressman. Then I was a part of the delegation here with Representative McClammy that we brought Hyundai to Montgomery and ThyssenKrupp to North Mobile County. Folks, if we can make promises to foreign companies that we are a place open for business, we can make a promise and honor it to our own people in our own state. Anything less than that